Hi everyone. I decided to do a video on body language. I've been thinking about this for a long time, and I'm going to base this on my research plus what I was taught in nursing school. Body language is really important in the medical field. And I do not know what they teach now, but in my day, we were taught this. You can learn a lot about people. And I'm going to be reading some of the things um, that I researched. And Duchamp, if anyone knows, it's a French name and it means a real smile, a complete smile. And there are a lot of fake smiles. Uh, a real smile is not only smiling with your mouth, with your eyes. And I will read what it says. The Durham smile is a smile that signals true happiness and is characteristic by crow's feet, wrinkles around the corner of the eyes, along with upturned corners of the mouth. That is a real smile. And you don't see an awful lot. Um, there are, and the reason why I read body language a lot, like I said, because I was taught this in medical school. And let's face it, social media, not only YouTube, other social media, there's a lot of fakeness that goes on. Um, Maybe we're all guilty of that sometimes, although if people that know me know I say what's on my mind. But there are times when we don't feel up to it, and maybe physically we don't even feel good, but we go ahead and we do a live stream or a video. But when I watch people, I don't only listen to what they're saying, I watch their eyes, their whole gesture, um, and I focus on that, just not what they say, also. Because sometimes people say one thing and they actually mean something else. So, and like I said, I will talk about the medical part of it. When you're talking to someone, one of the things in my research it says to do, if you're really sincere and you're really listening to the person, you put down your phone, you put down other things, you actually look at the person you're talking to. Now, looking directly to somebody's eyes, it suggests that, you also turn and look somewhere else occasionally because that could be threatening to the other person. Now, for my own self, when I say in person, when I'm talking to someone, if they can't look at me eye to eye, I don't trust them. I think that people, if they're not sincere, cannot actually look at you, they will turn away from you and they'll be just, looking everywhere else. Uh, a really honest person who's having an honest conversation, good communication, will look at you. But it does suggest that you do turn away, that you should not, in a conversation, you should not be um, looking at a notebook or messing with your coffee mug or cleaning your desk, or that's not being sincere. Also, a handshake. In fact, say my parents' generation, excuse me, a handshake was like a contract. When you shook, say two guys were having a business deal and you shook hands, that was a contract. That doesn't exist today. Um, let's see. Also, the eyebrows. If you look at somebody when they're talking and they're raising their eyebrow, they're um, uh, that even could indicate uh, actually, and it does say you're interested in somebody romantically. Um, Gestures like that could mean something. So I'm basically focusing on the social media part. Um, okay, it says, why is body language so important? Body language is a key part of how we communicate with each other. It helps show our feelings and attitudes. Even when our words say something different, being good at understanding body language can make conversation better and help people get along well. People who are good at reading body language typically excel in their careers, have great relationships, get freebies in life. 5 powerful reasons why body language is important. Body language can be broken down into major categories: vibrant for open body language and negative for closed body language. Now, the negative part, um, that's lots of times what we do see. And I think things have changed with social media. And as a lot of people have discussed, behind a keyboard, too, people will say anything that maybe they wouldn't say to your face. Things have changed. I understand that. But say, I'll use for an example, and I'm not pointing fingers at anyone, so don't read in between the lines. Say you go into an auction or a live stream, and the host is not there openly greeting you. He or she, whoever, is messing with something on their desk and they're not really paying attention. That to me is a feeling of they're not welcoming their guests. You should be ready to communicate with everyone, to welcome them, not be doing something that you should have actually done before you went live. And that's something I have noticed. And again, I'm not pointing fingers. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that, you know, I haven't done any of these things. Nonverbal signals such as gestures, facial expressions, and eye gaze. Body language communicates a person's emotions and intentions. There are 11 different types. Sometimes some of these are done subconsciously, and people don't even realize that they are doing. Now, before I start on the other part, um, let me just start. On the medical, we were taught, like I worked in a hospital, worked in a nursing home. Sometimes when you're admitting the patient, body language is really important. Because picture yourself when you go to a doctor. Sometimes you don't really express yourself like you should. You, you're not feeling good, but you're not really telling the nurse or the doctor how bad you feel. You're kind of playing it down. That's not really a good thing because say you're being admitted to the hospital for something, they don't know exactly what's wrong, or maybe it is something serious. You need to communicate that. Well, a medical professional is trained, and again, I don't know if they still train this. We were trained. You look at their eyes, you look at their facial expressions, you look at their hands, you can usually tell if they're holding back. Um, that's really important. And if you take your time and have patience and ask the right questions, usually that person will express themselves. They, when they get more comfortable with you, they will express themselves and tell you how they really feel. But as a nurse, admitting a patient, if you take your time and not just rush them, you really watch them, you can pick up that they're not really telling you everything. And so this is, with my training, I think that's why I do notice when people, I don't think are being totally truthful. And, and I'm not saying they do it intentionally. Sometimes we don't want to express ourselves. And I'm not saying that's good or bad, but there's some of us that do notice all of these body languages and different things that gestures that they do. And so I learned right away in my training that I knew when I admitted a person who felt a lot worse than what they were actually saying. And with patience and saying the right words, eventually you can get that person to express themselves. And another thing and this is with the medical now. Sometimes say a couple came in, and the wife was going to be admitted, and the husband did all the talking, which is very wrong, actually. Um, the wife doesn't always express herself because her husband's taken over, and you can tell in her facial expressions and even how she holds her arms that she's not liking it. She's agitated. So these are the things, I was taught being a nurse. So I still notice in the social media, uh, I can pretty much, not that I'm always right, but I can pretty much tell when someone is absolutely faking, not telling the truth, um, exaggerating. It's just easy to tell. And I really think that body language is important. How we present ourselves. And like I said, we all fall short. I'm not trying. I know there may be somebody out there that thinks I'm criticizing someone. No. you're wrong. We all fall short of this. It depends how our mood is that particular day, how we feel physically and mentally. But watch for some of these things. Um, Even in, say, in an auction or any type of sale, any type of live stream, also listen to what someone says, but also watch their presentation, their body language. You think they're real? You think they're just saying something is fantastic because they want to make a sale, or do they really feel like it is? And I'll speak for myself. I'm sure I have a reputation because I call it like it is. You always know when I like something and when I dislike something. And that's my way. I don't expect anyone else to agree or be that way. That is my way. And I respect people for being that way. I respect people for, even if it sounds kind of harsh sometimes, I would rather have somebody say the truth in my face than to give me this fake smile or fake words. But like I said, I do watch body language, and I think we all ought to be aware of that. That's the whole purpose of this video, is watch people's expressions when they're talking to you. Are they busy writing? Are they busy watching something else on YouTube or on their phone? Or are they actually looking at you and talking to you? Do they remember what you say? If you don't listen, if you're not focusing on someone, 9 times out of 10, they don't remember what you said. Or if they do remember, they remember incorrectly because they were not listening. Mentally, they were, well, even physically, multitasking. And we all multitask. But when you're having a one-on-one conversation, you shouldn't be multitasking. You need to do one thing at a time. Anyway, if I offend someone with my little thoughts, that's fine. I doesn't bother me either way. Um, Most of my, with a few exceptions on this channel, Josie Cares channel, um, most of the time I do these videos because somebody has requested them and doing research, or um, I feel like personally I need to do a video. Um, as you know, if you check it out, I do some grieving videos and what it's like after being a widow or widower. Um, that I do some research on them, and I decided that we all watch a million channels, and it's interesting. Watch, I'm a people watcher, but I thought, body language, and I'll use for an example. And again, I'm not mentioning names, so don't try to figure out who I'm talking about. I watched a person present an item that this person wanted to totally sell because of personal reasons. When it did not sell, that person just tossed it like it was a piece of junk. And remember, you never know who's watching. So, um, boils down to respect. That's the bottom line. Respect. Be real. Don't be fake. Be real. And again, watch the body language. Is the smile real or is it fake? Smile real is the mouth and the eyes. The fake is just the mouth. Um, do they look at you when they talk to you? Or are they looking at their phone? And I know nowadays where everybody has a cell phone, lots of times no one pays attention. So anyway, if you have any comments, I appreciate constructive criticism. Anything negative, I do remove. Um, hopefully you got something out of this. I was going to carry this a little longer because I did a lot of research on it, but I decided to just make it short, get my point across, um, work on communication. That is the key to everything that we do is communication. Don't, I will say one other thing. Don't just listen to hearsay. Don't listen to gossip. Always, if you think something is not right, go to the source. Ask the question. To me, communication goes along with body language. Remember that. Anyway, have a great day, everyone. Bye, and thank you for watching.